Good evening, believers. How are you doing today? This is Love Coach Dasha coming to you today for the Healing Hour Live. Now, if you have never been with me before, you don't know what it is that I'm doing here. I am a love coach specifically for women who want to heal and reconcile after infidelity. That is what I do. I know that there are plenty of women out there who are staying right now, who are in the midst of it, who don't know exactly what they're doing. I am here to help you specifically. I do not want you to keep being lost. I do not want you to keep struggling through this, feeling like there is no way to get back to a happy, healthy relationship after this has happened, even though you are staying. Whatever reason that you have for staying, I am here to tell you that your reasons are valid. Whatever it is that you want to do with your life is absolutely valid. And if this is where you want to be, I can show you how to do it a whole lot happier. Okay? So come on in here, come talk to me. What we do is we discuss the fact that this is a trauma. You have been through a trauma. This was one of those things that kind of hit you out of the blue and took your breath away. We've got to get our breath back. We got to get back up on our feet after this trauma has happened. We cannot let it continue to affect us day after day after day because you get stuck like that. Your brain will get stuck in this traumatized state the longer you stay there. So I want you to know the things that you can do right now to start getting out of that state, to start changing the way that your brain is working so that you can start to move on from this. All right. So, the first thing I'm always going to tell you every time we get together is to remind you that since this is a trauma, it is something that is a physical thing that is happening to you. So, if it is a physical thing that is happening to you, guess what? You can affect it through your body. You can affect how you're feeling, what's going on with you in your body. And the simplest way to do that is to do your deep breathing. Have you been doing your deep breathing? Let me know in the comments if you have, if you're catching this now or you're catching this on the replay, hashtag replay. Let me know in the comments. Have you been doing your deep breathing, and what kind of a difference is that making for you when you're doing it? All right. Let me know in the comments. If you've been doing this for a while, you're like, yes, coach, this is actually working very well for me. You're right about that. Or I don't do it enough, so it's not really helping me. I'd like to do it more. Or whatever is going on, let me know. Okay. So we're going to do our deep breathing. What we do is 4-7-8 breathing. Now, when we're doing this, we're doing the opposite of the breathing that you do when you're freaked out, when you are having a trigger, when you are sitting here dealing with the anxiety of this trauma. You are sipping the air instead of fully inhaling and exhaling. So if you can teach your body that no, I'm actually okay. Look at me deep breathing. Look at me fully inhaling and fully exhaling. I'm safe. You can convince your body that that is really the state that you're in and there's no need to freak out. Okay. So we are going to do it all together. If you're here with me now, make sure you say hi in the comments. Make sure you give me some likes, give me some love, and do your deep breathing with me. So we do 4-7-8 breathing. Now, what that is we're going to exhale as much as we possibly can. Get all that carbon dioxide out of our lungs. When you are anxious, when you are sipping at the air like that, you don't fully exhale. And so you get a buildup of carbon dioxide down in your lungs. That triggers something in your brain that says, oh my God, we have way too much carbon dioxide, not enough oxygen, something is wrong. Okay. So then you've got the emotional imbalance that's happening. And then you have a real physical imbalance that's happening inside your body at the same time. We got to get rid of one or the other. Okay. And we can definitely control the physical one fastest. So we're blowing out, getting that excess carbon dioxide out of our lungs. Then we're going to inhale for a count of 4. Try and inhale through your nose if you can. Hold that breath for a count of 7. We're going to give our bodies a chance to use the oxygen that we just breathed in. And then blow out like you're blowing out an entire cake full of birthday candles for a count of 8. When you do that, you are making room for the next full breath. You are controlling your breath. And when you make that sound, you are telling your brain, hey, this is the sound of me calming down. This is the sound of me being safe and sound and completely in control of my life. All right. So you are teaching yourself several things at the same time when you do this. So I want you to be doing this 5 times a day. Now, we're going to do it 3 times for the sake of time, but every day, set an alarm, put it in your phone. 5 times during the day, you will stop, do your deep breathing, reflect for a minute, feel how your body's feeling. Just be in the moment 5 times a day. I promise you, you'll start to calm down. You'll start to be able to handle these emotions a whole lot better. Okay. All right. So we're going to do our deep breathing together. First things first, we're going to blow out. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful. How do you feel when you're doing your deep breathing? Let me know in the comments. How does it feel inside your body? It should feel like something that is all tight is starting to unravel. It should feel like you can actually expand your chest and get a good deep breath in. You should feel like, okay, my brain is a little bit clearer. The thoughts aren't screaming as badly in my head right now. There should be a physical change and somewhat of a mental change that go on when you do your deep breathing. If you start doing it on a regular basis and paying attention to that, you can see how much relief that you get, and then you can start adding it in where you need it during the day. Okay. Second thing that I'm always going to talk to you about, I need you to be doing your journaling. Have you been doing your journaling? Have you been taking a little bit of self-care time just for you and writing in your journal? I need you to do that. If you haven't been doing that, just consider it some self-care and just decide that you're going to do it for a while. You need to put these thoughts down in a more permanent place. I know you want to talk to him about it, but that's not helping you as much as writing it down, okay? When you take the time, sit down first thing in the morning and right before you go to bed and pour these thoughts out, okay? You're not constantly bubbling with thoughts. Whatever bubbles over and that comes up to the top, you write it down, all right? It's in there. And then you can come back later on and think about it when you're a little bit calmer. Hey, Quenisha, see you over there on Instagram. Hey, girl. So we've got to take a moment to let those thoughts that are coming up to the surface that are driving us nuts, we've got to give those some attention. We've got to give them a little bit of love, a little bit of our attention to say that, okay, yes, brain, I hear you. I totally hear you. I understand that this is something important. I'm going to write it down. When you write it down, hey girl, when you write it down, you are telling your brain that it is important and that you will come back to it. This is a great way if you are having a hard time sleeping at night, if there's nightmares, if you have issues, you can write your stuff down right before you get ready to go to bed. Tell your brain, hey, look, we're going to work on this while I'm sleeping. But I'm tired. I can't deal with it right now. Let my unconscious work on it until I wake up. You all let me know what you came up with in the morning. Giving your brain that assignment a lot of the time will stop the nightmares, will stop you from ruminating about it all night because you already told your brain, hey, look, I need some sleep. I cannot handle this right now. You're going to have to handle this. Tell me about it when I get up because, hey, the computer is not going to work very well if I don't go to sleep. So if you are consistently doing this, you are telling your brain what you need it to do, which is just wait, give me a minute. I'll write it down, but we don't have to keep talking about it. We don't have to keep traumatizing ourselves over and over again because we keep talking about it. All right. All right, so date, time, level of anxiety needs to be in your journal, every entry, okay? Date, time, first thing, just so you know when this is happening. If you're writing just because you're triggered and you are consistently writing every day, 9:13 p.m., on every Thursday, then you know that there is something that triggers you in that time period. You'll have a clue. Okay. And then your level of anxiety. We need to get a fence around these feelings. We need to know that they can only get so big they cannot eat us. Okay. So we are going to do a fence that is 0 to 10. 0 is no anxiety whatsoever. Everything is great. All is right with the world. Write that down. You need to put that in your journal so that you can remember the next time your brain says nothing is good, everything is always terrible. You can go back in your journal and be like, shut up, brain. That's not what happened. Look, I got plenty of days right here where I was 0, maybe 1. It was good days. I was not having a hard time. Not every day is terrible. You can prove that your brain is lying to you when it's freaking you out. And then there is 10. 10 is a loss of control. 10 is throwing things. 10 is screaming, losing your voice. 10 is the neighbors are probably going to call the police on you. That is a 10. A 10 is you have lost your shit. Okay. You can't get control over yourself. If you are sitting down writing in your journal, you do have control over yourself. So don't write down, I'm a 10 right now. That's not true. Okay. You are not out of control of yourself. You're controlling a pen and paper very well. So it will give you some perspective on how bad it actually is versus what your brain is telling you how bad it is. All right. Because our brains will lie to us. Our brains lie to us all the time. Okay. We do not have to believe every single word that our brains say because they are employees. We are the boss. We are not supposed to take their word for everything they say. Good deal of the time they're lying to us. Okay. All right. So doing our journaling and make sure that you write your level of anxiety after too. You can write down, okay, if you start off at a 9 and you sit there and you write for 5 minutes and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm actually like a 7.5, 8 now. It came down. You will recognize that this is an effective thing for you to be doing. It's an effective tool and you'll feel better. All right. That's my whole thing. I want you to feel better. That's what everything that I'm telling you about is all about, is for you to be able to feel better inside your body as you are dealing with this trauma and what it does to your body. Okay. Third thing that I'm always going to tell you every time we get together, I need you to develop an attitude of gratitude. I need you to be grateful for things. Even when you are having a really, really hard time and things are going terribly for you, I need you to commit to looking for those things. Those things that every single one of them, you're like, okay, well, yeah, that is true. I am grateful that this is in my life. Those type of things. Reaching out from that negative space that you're in after this trauma, after you've been betrayed, and you're dealing with the grief and the loss that is associated with that. The best cure for grief is gratitude. So if you are reaching out from that grieving place and you are reaching for something to be grateful for, your brain will know, oh, wait a minute, she doesn't want to be continuously sad and angry and hurt. She wants to reach for something positive. Okay, let me see if she does it again. All right. And it will check you out. And if you keep on doing that, if you keep reaching out for the thing that you can be grateful for, your brain will take that as a damn hint and it will start to give you those things. Instead of you having to think so hard about them, your brain will be like, oh, but look, this is a thing you could be grateful for. I'm sure this is a wonderful thing that's in your life. I know that you enjoy this. Here it is. And so then your brain is not constantly telling you about what you have lost, what you do not have. It is telling you about what you have, what is present, the things that make you joyful in the moment. All right. And that's what we need to be doing as you are trying to heal from this trauma. You got to start healing in the moment. In those moments where your brain is just telling you everything is so awful and you should just be miserable and you should make him miserable too. Even then, if we can reach for that thing to be grateful for, it changes the way that our brain is functioning in that moment. And then the more often you do that, the easier it is to come out of this cycle. When we are traumatized, it lasts. You all know everybody on this planet has been traumatized in some way, shape, or form. You don't forget about it, right? And it lasts for a long, long time because we haven't actually been working on getting rid of the damage that has been done. This is working on the damage. This is constantly thinking about, okay, this damage has been done to my brain. I am grieving. Okay, what do I need to solve and soothe grief? I need gratitude. Okay, let me go ahead and do that. All right. We are just trying to feel better, trying to feel better inside our bodies, inside our minds after such a terrible thing has happened. So I do Thirsty Thursday. Let me know in the comments, what are you grateful for? Put it in the comments. Let me know the things that you are like, you know what? I am so happy that this thing is in my life. It makes me happy that it exists. I know I could be sad, I could be angry, I could be upset, but this thing does make me feel joyful. And I'm going to focus more on the joyful than on the sad. All right. Let me know in the comments if you got something. I will shout you out because I love to share good news. All right. I get lots and lots of bad news. Okay. Plenty of people hit me up telling me bad things. I love to hear it when you have found those things to be grateful for and you reach for them and it starts to transform things. I love telling people about it. I love it when you do it because I know that it's going to make you feel better. Okay. Last thing that I'm always going to tell you every single time we get together is that I need you to stop asking all those questions. All right. I was just reading, I was in another group and I was reading, this lady was saying that, oh, her therapist made them wait for 6 months to try and come back to full disclosure. And she was like, oh, it just damaged me so badly. And I was like, I don't even think it was the fact that you had to wait. I think it's the fact that that is a trauma reaction and having to wait was freaking you out so bad that you figured out that, oh, well, no, this is damaging to me and I shouldn't have done that. But I truly don't believe that that full disclosure thing is good for you. I really don't. I don't think it's a good idea. I think in the throes of this trauma, when you are hurting this bad, you don't need all of that. You don't need all of that piled onto you. That's an incredible amount of knowledge about something that hurts you to process while you're hurting. Does that make sense to you? I don't want you to add on extra hurt. And the thing is, the more you talk about trauma, the more traumatized you become, unless you are actually working on getting out of it, doing the things that I'm telling you about, working with somebody, getting yourself a coach, getting yourself a therapist, and actually digging your way out of that trauma. If you are just in the trauma and then you pile all the extra trauma on top of you because you want to know, because it's in your brain and your brain is screaming, you got to know all the answers. If you do that, you are burying yourself under a pile of negativity. I don't want you to do that to yourself. I think you have enough information with what you have right now. I guarantee you've been asking questions. All right. I know that you've already been doing that. I know that you've got a lot of answers. I don't want you to get stuck in that part because what our brains do is a couple of different things. They tell us that this person is a threat and we need to know everything about the threat. And if we don't know everything about the threat, we could be hurt again. All right. If you ignore that, if you say, no, I am not going to treat him like a threat. I am not going to interrogate him and believe that he is just going to hurt me if I don't know every single solitary detail of this awful thing he did. If you tell your brain that over and over again, it will start to understand that that's not how you want to see him. Your brain will work with you if you are consistent in the messaging that you give it. If you're inconsistent and go back and forth, it goes to the default of being afraid, and he's somebody I need to be afraid of, and I need to ask all the questions. But if you are constantly telling yourself, wait, this is a person that I love. I do not want to treat them like a perpetrator. I do not want to interrogate them. That is not how I want this to go. You consistently do that, your brain will come up with different ways to deal with this. It will start to let go of that, oh, I got to know every single solitary detail or else I can't heal. And then there's the thing that your brain is lying to you. Your brain is saying to you, oh, if you know all of these details, then maybe you can heal. Or, oh, if I know all of these details, then we can move forward. It is a roadblock to prevent you from moving forward. It is not to help you move forward. It is to say, hey, this is scary. You should be afraid. Go hide, is what that's doing to you. It is not to help you understand. It is not to help you be closer. It is not to help you heal in any way, shape, or form. It is to build up the wall. It is putting brick by brick by brick a wall up in front of you between the two of you so that you can't reach them. That's what all the questions are for. Okay, that it nothing else. It's not to help you. Okay, your brain will lie to you and tell you that it's to help you. It is not to help you. So when you do this and you get this full disclosure, you got a ton of bricks that you can put on this wall. And now, okay, you're building that up, but this is somebody that you wanted to be with in the first place. So now we got to take all those bricks back down. You're giving yourself a harder, longer road to healing. If you've already made up your mind that this is the person that you want to be with, why are we hurting ourselves more again to find out information that'll cause us pain and make us not want to stay? That's what we're doing. You got to make up your mind. The decision is a huge part of the dreams formula of healing after infidelity. You making up your mind about what you want to do without his input. Damn him. Okay, right now, he has not earned the right to give you any input on this. If you are staying, it's because you are staying, not because of anything that he said, not because of any question that he asked, not because of any behavior that he has changed or not changed, not because he stopped seeing her, not because he's still seeing her. You get to make this choice. You're the one who has not been running around making horrible decisions, okay? You're the one that gets to say whether this is going to work out or it is not. Trying to make him give you enough information to make you feel justified in that is just not going to work, because your brain is not going to convince that it's justified in staying and working things out until you show it by actually doing it. Your brain's not going to believe you. Your brain's going to believe that he's a threat. This is the problem. Don't be with him. And will try and make you run the same way other women will try and tell you, run. You shouldn't be with him. Leave him, girl. Okay, yeah, the same way, because we all got the same exact fears in our brains. Our brains all work the same exact way when it comes to something that is scary. And so you will have to fight against your own brain, everybody else talking, if you are waiting around for somebody to help you make this decision. If you want to be with them, be with them. You don't have to ask all those questions to be able to work this out. You do not need all that information to be able to heal. You do not. You already think the worst anyway. Just, okay, if you want to think the worst, go ahead and think the worst and then move on. Let's move forward, all right? Whatever you think the worst of it is, you're probably kind of right. You know them pretty good. If you think, okay, I think X, Y, and Z happened, just say in your brain, okay, X, Y, and Z happened. All right, I was expecting him to say it, so that's what I believe is going to happen. And so I'm still going to work it out, but I already know this is what I believe has happened. I'm not going to keep asking a whole bunch of questions about it. I'm just going to believe this worst case scenario, and then I'm going to move forward with it. Because that's what you're doing anyway. You already believe the worst case scenario. You already believe that. You're trying to validate that by asking a whole bunch of questions. Just believe what you believe and go ahead and forgive anyway, because that's what you were intending to do. That's what you're looking for, is a reason to, is a way to be able to forgive. Well, if I know all the details, then maybe I can do it. You can just do it. All right. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. All right. So you all let me know any questions, comments, thoughts, complaints, anything going on you want to talk to me about today. I am here for you. Let's see. Before I go on, let me tell you, I need you to get my dreams formula guide. Okay, I told you about the first step is the D, the decision. I go through the entire dreams formula, exactly what I needed to know and the things that I needed to do to be able to heal. I tried it over and over and over again. I tried it the other opposite way. It did not work. Tried it this way. The way that I've given it to you in this guide is the way that it works. It works with other women. It will work for you if you apply it. So you go ahead. If you are in my Love After Cheating group, go up to the top of the group. It is pinned to the top of the group. It says how to heal and help reconcile after infidelity. And if you were with me on Instagram, go on over there to my profile, click on the link tree, and it's the first thing. Yeah, it's the first thing on my link tree. So go and check that out. get yourself a free copy of my How to Heal and Reconcile After Infidelity guide with the dreams formula in it, because it was years of work. Okay. This represents years of work. This represents, I was studying this. I read books about marriage, about relationships, about cheating. I've read so much information. I was digging into this, and I took everything that everybody was telling me that you had to do to be able to heal from this, and I was trying it, and it was not working. It was just not doing it for me. It was just getting me to a place where I was sad all the time. I was frustrated, angry all the time. Like the first thing, the decision, right? The conventional advice is, well, he has to make this decision. He has to decide that he's not going to see this person anymore. He has to decide that he's going to be completely transparent. He has to decide that he is going to give you what you need to be able to heal from this. And I think that that's just it. After trying it that way, because I tried it, okay, it's foolish. It's a foolish way to go about it, because you are giving over every bit of power in this situation to somebody who has shown quite clearly that they should not have the power in this situation. Lord, can I get an amen on that? This is not the person that you should be letting make all the decisions. Why? He hasn't shown that he's making good decisions. Why does he get to make this decision? When I changed that, that was one of the key things that I had to hold on to that tight throughout the entire process. I always had to come back to that. I make this decision. I am not waiting on him to make this decision, because he can't be dependent upon to make good decisions right now. I know that to be true. I see that very clearly. So I'm going to be the one. And from now on, that's the way it's going to be. And I had to keep reminding myself. But every time I tried to let him be the leader on this, let him be the person that did it, it just drove me nuts. It just drove me up a wall. When I took over and I made the decision about me and what I wanted, and not about him and what he was capable of doing, it made things a whole lot simpler. All right. So every single thing is like that. The recognizing and overcoming the fear speech. Other people will tell you to listen to the fear. Other people will tell you that you are right and you're just protecting yourself. And yes, you should worry, and you should be questioning him every day, and you should be questioning his loyalty. You should be going through his phone. You should be afraid. And that doesn't work, because that is the traumatized state that you're in already from this happening to you. And if you keep going down that road, you're going to be by yourself. You are going to be afraid of everybody, because that's how phobias start. If you are afraid of one thing and you run from that thing, your brain is like, ha ha, I told you she should be afraid. Here, you should be afraid of something that kind of looks like that too. And it will continue on and on and on, and give you more and more and more to be afraid of. So listening to the fear speech that comes from other people and from inside your head, you just cannot do. You got to question every one of those thoughts. You got to say, wait, I don't believe this thought, and check it. See if it's correct. See if it's real. I was talking to one of the After Infidelity Mastermind people the other day, and she connected two completely negative thoughts with completely positive thoughts. It was weird. It was glued together with a positive thought, but if you put it in between the two negatives, it made the whole thing negative. All right. So the fear will tell you lies. The fear changes the way your brain works. So then if you are consistently living in that fear, you can't find your way out. You are just terrified all the time, and your adrenaline is pumping all the time, and your cortisol levels up, and your blood pressure is high, and your pulse is racing all the time, because you can't calm down, because you're listening to what the fear and the pain are telling you every day. All right. We've got to stop doing that. Stop listening to what the fear tells you to do. You are making a good decision for yourself, and you're not going to be afraid to make this decision. So what? If it doesn't work out, fine. If it doesn't work out, if you put all your good effort into actually healing from this, and he does not follow right along on that path and try his damnedest to make up for what has happened, then fine, you can go ahead and let him go. But that's generally what happens when you are on this healing path and you just decide, you know what? If he stays lost in the woods, that's on him. I was on the path. I was moving along the path. If he don't come the hell on, then he's going to get left in the woods. If you start to look at it from that perspective, stop being afraid that he won't, and just go ahead and proceed to heal yourself, you'll heal the whole thing. You'll heal the whole damn relationship. It happens so subtly that you'll look up and you'll be like, oh my God, it's better. Because you did the healing. You went ahead and showed him where the path was, and you started heading in that direction, and he didn't want to get lost in the woods, so he followed you. All right. So everything that I learned in the dreams formula was just the opposite of what everybody was telling me. It was the E for evaluating the why is about why he did this. Everybody else will say that you have to know the exact reason why he did this so you can prevent him from doing it again. We don't have that much control over other human beings. That's insane. We got to stop doing that. And you don't want that much control over another human being. Why? Why would you want that? So instead of making it be about protecting yourself and trying to shield yourself from this happening again, you switch it around and you make it be about, if I understand why he did this, then I can maybe have some compassion for him, because this was a bad idea, terrible idea, awful. And if he was making this bad of a decision with our relationship, how bad is he feeling inside? There's got to be something that is happening with you that made you think that such a terrible decision is a good decision, right? If you can look for the compassion for that, instead of just saying, okay, if I know why, then you will never hurt me again. No, I have compassion for you because you must be hurting, and actually understand where the hurt is coming from, help with that, understand that, bring that to the surface, then that is not going to be a thing that causes him to stumble again. If we know what the issue is, and we know what the fear and the pain is that was behind this bad decision, then he isn't going to make that same decision right over again. Now, I do need you to understand that people tend to make the same decisions over and over again. People make the same mistakes over and over again. We're just wired like that. But he can get it right, okay? Even if he does make the same mistake again, he can get it right. Mine did. I know yours can too, okay? A is allowing the healing to happen. It's more about the fear. It's like your other people will tell you, oh, you should keep your walls up, you should not let him in close, he might hurt you, you're right to keep your distance, don't have sex with him, how could you even touch him, how can you be intimate with him? People will tell you a lot of things that are the things that you need to be doing to heal this. They will tell you that they're the wrong things to do. If you don't have any of that relationship stuff, if we can't be close anymore, if we can't have any fun and laugh together anymore, if we can't wear our rings anymore, if we can't sleep together anymore, then you're not really in a relationship. And it's definitely not the relationship you want, right? You don't want to live an entire relationship holding back from that person. You must love this person a whole hell of a lot if you wanted to work through this. So if you love them that much, are you going to go the rest of your life without being able to show it? That seems crazy. That seems like that'd be a lot to have to do. So I'm saying, instead of putting up walls, you bring the walls down. You sleep together, you have sex, you put your ring back on, you act like a married couple, you go out and you have fun together, you laugh, you let the wall down. And it's a conscious thing at first. When you are conscious about it, your body is going to rebel. You're going to feel it in your body, okay? I guarantee you, you are going to feel it. Your body is going to be screaming at you, no, don't rub your feet on his. No, don't let him kiss you. Okay, it's going to be screaming that because, again, This is a traumatic reaction that is happening inside of our bodies that is telling us that we are in danger from this person. So it's going to want you to back off. That's why people feel disgusted. If you ever felt like you're just disgusted with them, like, I don't even like you, get the ick. That is a trauma response to try and protect you, to try and make you back away from that person instead of getting closer to them again. So if we can understand, okay, our brain is just freaking out and trying to tell us that. And if I just get a little closer, I will feel better. The screaming in my head will stop. If you just trust that, just trust it and do it anyway. Even when your brain is kicking up a fight, because it's going to kick up a fight, especially when you need to touch, when you need to be close again, it's going to kick up quite a fuss about it. But you need it. It is chemically how you change how your body is working. Because yes, this person has set you off and got your adrenaline going. But if you go to them when that is happening and you go get a hug for 30 seconds, let them hold you tight for about 30 good seconds and let your body relax, you are inducing more oxytocin into your system, which is the feel good drug, the hug drug. That's the one that makes you feel like, oh, I really love this person, and feel all tender towards them the same way mothers are with babies. That is where that comes from, is being held and touched by the person that you love. So you are sending the message to your body that, yeah, I know he hurt me. However, he is the person that makes this oxytocin flow, and I need that right now, because that oxytocin flow, and guess what else that does? That brings down stress hormone. That is why you need it. This is a physical thing that is happening to you. If you do physical things, you can help it, okay? But that is one clearly physical thing. When you are in this state, your cortisol, which is your stress hormones, those are way up. Your blood pressure's up, your pulse is up. You are going through it. If you introduce some oxytocin from hugging up with your honey for 30, 40 seconds, being held until you can relax your shoulders, bring them down from your ears and back, actually open up your chest and breathe. If you do it for that long, you start to fight against the hormones that were negative that he inflicted in the first place. All right. So he's the solution to the problem. And that sucks. I know it sucks, but it is the solution. So if you're feeling some kind of way, you're in that moment, go to him and tell him, hey, I'm not going to talk to you about it, because talking about it, just re-traumatizing myself, ain't no need for that. But I'm going to need you to just hold on to me for about 30, 40 seconds. Need you to wrap your arms around me and hold me real tight, like squeeze me and help me regulate my emotions right now. It will help you, I swear. Every single time that I've ever done couples coaching, if I do, I'm like, okay, we're at the point now where we need to do about a 20-second hug. You all are looking a little tight, a little tense with each other. I need to show you something. And I show them every single solitary time. If they just do it for 25, 30 seconds, they start smiling at each other. They are more tender with each other immediately. It is an immediate thing. Less than a minute, you can start to feel better, much more tender towards them if you do it. Okay. Let's see. What else? What else did I get told was wrong? Managing the future feelings is the M of the dreams formula. That talks about the triggers. When we are dealing with the triggers, people will tell you, oh, you need to talk about the trigger. You need to tell him that you are triggered and how horrible he is for having you be triggered and all the bad feelings that you are feeling about this trigger. I'm here to say that just doesn't work. Okay. I have a better way to go about it. Matter of fact, I have a trigger tracker. You message me. Go ahead and put in the comments or DM me if you would like my tracker in the comments. Okay. I got a trigger tracker. It shows you, it lays it out for you. Okay. Because you've got to walk through this step by step. So the first thing is figuring out, okay, well, what was it that triggered me? What happened? Was I triggered now, or was I already triggered? Was this something that, okay, it came to a head now, but I was already feeling some kind of way? Where do I feel it in my body? How am I going to react to it? And if I react in this way, is that a positive thing or a negative thing? Is there a better reaction that I could use? If I do use the better reaction, All right. And that helps a little bit, but it doesn't completely fix it. What else can I do? All of those questions are answered with my trigger tracker. If you would like a copy, I will definitely send it to you. But I want you to be thinking about the triggers in the idea that you are the person who can heal those. Your triggers are to show you where you're not healed yet. It is information. That's all it is. It is not trying to make your life miserable. It really isn't. It is revealing to you that sore spot. It's showing you where the infection is underneath the surface. If you can just pay attention to what the trigger is, how your body feels. If you pay attention to how your body feels, you'll know that you're triggered before your brain tells you. Okay. Your body will feel it before your brain knows it. All right. Just so you know. But if you are consistently paying attention to what your body is doing and you are catching the triggers early and you are using your plan to deal with the trigger, you're going to have a much easier time dealing with the triggers. You're actually going to do something positive about them. And then next time, maybe it won't be the same trigger. It'll be something else, some other place that's not healed that your body and your brain are trying to show you. And you can actually start to work on that. And then you will have, if that other first trigger ever pops back up, you have a plan for it. You know exactly what to do. You don't have to think all hard. You have got a plan. It is in the stash. You know for sure these are things that I can do. I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that. And these things are going to help me to feel better if I am triggered in this way. If you do that on a consistent basis, have it all laid out about the different types of triggers you have and the different things that you can do to make yourself feel better, you won't be trying to make him make you feel better. He does not have that magic, okay? I'm just gonna tell you, you think that he should just be able to go bibbity bobbity boo and you're fixed. Your trigger is gone. He's made you feel better. I know that he did this, and I know that your brain says, well, he did this, so he should be the one to fix it. But this is happening within you. This is happening inside your brain, inside your heart, inside your body. You are the one in control of that. And we've got to stop letting them, again, be in control of stuff when they have already shown that they're not great with the decision making as it is. Okay. There's no need to give him that responsibility and let him fumble your heart all over again. You can heal from the triggers, and you are going to be the only one that truly understands them anyway, because you're the one that's experiencing it. Okay. And then as for support, they will tell you that you can get support, but then they will be constantly telling you that you should leave, that you're wrong. You don't need support who is telling you to do what their fear tells them to do. That's not what you need. You need to do the exact opposite. You need some support who will go through the entire dreams formula with you and back you on every single step. Hey, look, we are not asking him what his decision is. This is your decision. You've already made your decision. Let's just move forward with your decision. That's the type of support you need. You need the support who will be like, I know that you're afraid. I know that the fear is screaming in your brain, but I'm here to tell you that that fearful idea, that thought that the fear is telling you to go through with, it's not a good idea. It's all based in fear. It's not based in love. It's not going to help you heal. All right. Will not encourage you to do the crazy stuff. The person is like, yeah, girl, you should go through his phone. You should put the GPS on him. He shouldn't even know. That chick, that's not the one you listen to heal from this. Okay. Because she is just reinforcing the trauma. She's reinforcing the effects of the trauma on your body and on your brain. It's not going to help you. You need the person who will recognize that you love this person so much that you understand that they had to been going through something painful, and to remind you that you love them and that you didn't want them to go through something painful. And that is why this all happened. It was not because they didn't love you. It was because they were hurting and they made poor decisions because of pain. And that does not mean that they don't love you. It just means that they made poor decisions. That's all it means. It is what it is. As human beings, sometimes we do that. You need the person as support who will remind you this was a person in pain. Hurt people hurt people. And we know for sure what his pain is. He was going through a hard time. You can have some compassion for him. You are not wrong to try and understand him, try and love him anyway. You're perfectly on good footing to be able to do that. You need that person. All right. And you need the person who is going to tell you, why are you not having sex again? Why are you acting like a bitch every time you're around him? Why you keep talking about the cheating every day? This is not allowing you to heal. You don't seem to be feeling good. Things seem to be going to the left every time you do this. This doesn't seem like a positive thing. Maybe we can try a different way. Maybe you can open up a little bit more. That's what you wanted, right? You wanted to open up, you wanted to love, you wanted to connect again. That is the person that you need coaching you every step of the way. And for the triggers, you don't need somebody who's going to get triggered with you. You don't need somebody who is so afraid that every time a trigger comes up for you, they're just as triggered as you are, telling you to make awful decisions because they're afraid and they're triggered and they're just going to put you in their place. That's not helpful. That is not helpful at all. That is not helpful to you in your healing process. You can't have somebody who's just going to get triggered with you. You have to get somebody who knows the plan and tells you, hey, you said you were going to do your deep breathing if you freaked out like this again. You said that after you did your deep breathing, you were going to do your journaling. And then, okay, we're going to talk about it for about 10 minutes because we don't want to keep on traumatizing you, but we're going to talk about it for about 10 minutes. I got your back. And then, okay, well, wait a minute. You said you were going to get something to drink and something to eat if you were feeling like this for a long period of time and you haven't had any water all day and you haven't had any calories. So let's do that part of the plan first and see if maybe it's a little bit easier to deal with. Step by step by step by step, drawing you through the things that you've already planned to do to make yourself feel better. They are supposed to help you with that. They are not supposed to just go on off and get triggered right alongside you and run off with their own fears while you're sitting there trying to deal with yours. That is not a good support person. So, all in all, I say all that to say this: I am a good support person. All right. If you are struggling with this, if you are struggling with how to heal and reconcile after infidelity, if you are struggling with, I love this person, I am still here, but I don't know how to be here, I don't know how to get past this, I don't know how to stop the pain and the suffering, I am a very good support person. And I am currently right now, I am doing a program. I'm doing a 4-week group coaching program. I am doing a little beta testing with that. So if you are interested in getting in on that, that is going to be $50 for an entire month of coaching, getting 4 coaching calls and being able to text me and do tech support with me. So that's my little beta test right now. That is my offer. If you are struggling with this, I have my Reclaim and Rebuild program that is going to be about 4 weeks long. It's going to be $50 just for my beta testers. I need you all to give me some testimonials about it and tell people how great I am as a coach. But that is coming up the July. What's the beginning of it? It's going to start the 14th, the week of the 14th. I don't have the particular dates, but it is going to be the week of the 14th. So if you need that support, if you need somebody who is going to guide you through this without letting you just get lost in the woods and afraid all by yourself, I am a very good guide. I will point out the path to you. We can walk it together. Okay. All right. Any questions, comments, thoughts, complaints, anything going on? Don't see any comments. Don't see any questions over here. All right. Don't see anything at the moment. Let me see if I got another set of questions. I got some questions. I know I do. I got lots and lots of questions all the time. Let's see. Let's pick one. Just one more to end this with. This one says, "Oh, did we ever figure out? Did my husband ever figure out why he had his affair?" Oh boy, see that comes back to that why, that evaluating the why. That's the E of the dreams formula. Is figuring out why this happen? There were a whole bunch of reasons. There were a ton of them. First and foremost, my husband has bipolar disorder. Being hypersexual and making poor decisions is part of the symptoms. It is what it is. That's what it is. All right. Then childhood trauma, then adult trauma, then a whole bunch of the stupid part of the why. People, his people, he was around other men who told him that, oh, you should have multiple women, and taking them to their girlfriends and side pieces houses and showing that, oh, well, you're supposed to have many women. You're not supposed to just have one. You got the main one, yeah, but you got to have the side chick. That type of thing. That was one thing that he was taught. There were a whole bunch of reasons. The three reasons that come in the dreams formula are sick, sad, stupid. Okay. Sick is anything that is affecting your body physically. And that also includes mental illness because your brain is inside your body. So if you are suffering from mental illness, that is a physical thing that is happening to you. If you are suffering from a real physical illness of some other of your organs, that is something that is physically happening to you. And none of us are at our best when we are hurting. None of us are at our best when we're sick. We just are not. We make poor decisions. It is just a natural part of being a human being. When we are sick, we are not at our best and we try very hard to feel better, even though the things that can make us feel better could also be very, very bad for us in the long run. So that's one reason. And then sad. Sad is a loss of some kind. Doesn't matter what the loss is. Grief is grief. Everybody experiences loss, and we all know what that's like. So it does not matter if it's a parent who passed away or I lost my job. It does not matter what the actual grieving is about. The process of grieving causes us to make poor decisions. We are not at our best when we are grieving and experiencing a loss. And then there's stupid. Stupid is all the stupid things we get told about being in relationships. Men are told from the time they're little they should have women, and if they don't have one, if they don't have two women, they need to have three. You got this good one, then why don't you get another one? Oh yeah, you like her. Well, what about her mama? Like it's crazy the type of stuff that they are told, that they are supposed to get all of their self-esteem and all of their coping mechanisms from either having a lot of money or having a lot of women. And if you don't have a lot of money, you better have a lot of women or else you're just not a man. That just stupid stuff like that they are told from the time they're knee high. And then as they grow up, they internalize that and then they end up making stupid decisions based on stupid things that they were told. So there's a whole bunch of different reasons. But I could feel the compassion. Once I understood, I really did. It really was a changing point when we finally got him a diagnosis. We finally first it was PTSD. That was the first thing we found out. The psychiatrist was like, "You do know he's not sleeping, right?" And I was like, "What the hell do you mean?" He was like, "Have you ever seen him sleep?" I was like, "Shit, I don't think I've ever. No, I see him fall asleep, but like I don't watch him sleep all night." The psychiatrist, I'm trying to tell you, he was like a miracle worker. We were in that office for a half hour, and he looked at me. He was like, "This man has not slept in days, probably weeks." And I was like, I think you're right." He said, he's like, "When you go to sleep, he lays down next to you." I was like, "Yeah." And when you get up, he's already awake. I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "He's not sleeping." And my husband looked shocked too, because I don't think he knew that other people would know that. Or this particular doctor was the first one that was like, "Oh, I can see you're not sleeping." Told me that he was fully psychotic. Because if you don't sleep for 3 days in a row, if you don't get more than 4 hours of sleep 3 days in a row, you are technically psychotic. Your brain is altered. And he was walking around psychotic for months. Had no idea, no clue in the world that that was what was going on with him, because he acted like he was sleeping and he wasn't. He acted like he was. He sure did. He would lay down in the bed with me at night, but he would be up middle of the night and stay up for the rest of the night. And then when I got up, he was already up because he was always a morning person to me. Yeah, come to find out, that was what was happening. So, we got that first diagnosis that said he had PTSD and he was not sleeping. He was hypervigilant. He was looking for something to go wrong. He was afraid all night and he didn't want to go to sleep and have nightmares all night. So he wasn't sleeping. Really did, honestly. Like, I was like, oh my God, I did not have any idea that you were struggling that bad. I did not know because he was hiding it pretty well, but he had hidden it his entire life. He had it his whole life. He just never really showed anybody. So that was a huge turning point when I understood that, oh, he's actually ill. He's actually sick. There's something wrong. All right. And then after that, it was probably a few months after that. He had tried being treated for just PTSD and then tried to come back and we were like, the PTSD medicine, okay, fine. Anti-anxiety stuff is just not really doing it for him. It's not helping his mood. We went to see a different nurse practitioner. We had moved and went to a different place. And she finally came up with the diagnosis of him being bipolar. And that fit everything. And it was like, oh, is that what it is? That's always what it's always been. You've always just been sick. So, there were tons of different reasons that this happened. There's always different reasons for everybody that this happens with. But if you can figure out what that actual reason is and have a little compassion for the fact that this person is really suffering. They're not just trying to hurt you. They're not just, oh, I just don't love you and fuck you. That's not what they're doing. They are suffering. And you just happen to be catching the fallout of it because you're the closest person to them. But a lot of the time, that's all it is. If you can have compassion for the fact that they are really suffering and go ahead and decide to heal. All right, yes, I know that this thing is going on with you. I'm going to go ahead and start healing. I'm going to start heading in that direction. When you do that, you show them that there is a path forward, that there is healing to be had, and that they are not going to continue to be blamed for something that there was really out of their control in the first place. All right, so that makes sense. We've figured it out. Now it took a while. It took a while. It took a couple therapists, medication changes. It took some work, but we figured out that there was actually something really, really wrong that we could do something about. Physical stuff is, you can do something about it. You can do something about something physically happening to your body. All right. All right. Oh, Charmine, hi. You said, I feel like his. Okay. Wait. Oh, wait. That. Okay. All right. You said you provided some examples of how to deal with triggers: deep breathing, journaling, drinking water. And what about I'm really feeling bad, and those are not working. Feeling really in the dumps, and nothing seems to be working. You're probably focusing way too much on him. You've got to start taking care of yourself. You've got to start taking some of that focus off of him, because what you're doing is you're digging yourself even deeper into feeling bad. Your focus is on him. You're doing the thing, but while you're breathing, you're thinking about him, thinking about what you were going to say. While you're drinking your water, you are thinking about, well, he didn't even care enough about me to give me any water. You're connecting it too hard. A lot of the 180 things are about going out and having fun and doing your own thing and enjoying yourself and taking your attention off of him. The second you start taking all your attention off of him, he starts responding to that. He doesn't want you to totally forget about him, so he'll try and act better just so you won't always forget about him. You said he had sex with a woman last year, and he told her he wanted to buy a house with her and have a baby with her. Why are you listening to that? He just started messaging her again while with me, and he won't have sex with me and doesn't want a baby or a house with me. It's driving me insane. Okay, wait a minute. I know you, and you don't want a baby. So let see. This is what I'm saying. You're getting drawn in by his mess. Okay. Something you don't even want. You're like, oh, he doesn't want that with me. That's part of the reason why you're together. Let me just remind you of that. Okay, I know you. I've known you for a while. I know that that's not something that you wanted. So he's just talking. He's just sitting there. It for him, it's a compulsion. It's I want you to be interested in me and let me say all the magical things that I think will make you be interested in me. That's all he's doing. And he doesn't mean a word of it. He doesn't want a baby. He damn sure doesn't want the responsibility of buying a house. He does not want any of that. It's all game. Okay? Don't pay any attention to that madness. That's in the 182. Stop listening to that stupid shit he says. Okay? You got to stop doing that. He is in an altered state of mind. You cannot count on what he is saying to be correct right now. Stop listening to him. Stop it. And then you said, I feel like his grandma or mother figure, no intimacy at all. You can start to change that. All right. Start with the hug. Start a little bit easy. Let's start with something simple like that. Let's rebuild from there. Start with, okay, look, twice a day, we are gonna hug for 20 seconds. We're going to kiss for 10 seconds. That's what we're going to do. Plan for it. All right. You're giving him oxytocin. He's giving you oxytocin. We're feeling good together. We're starting to stoke up some of that intimacy. And you can suggest to him, because this is one of my favorite ways to go about it, to rebuild intimacy, 7 days of sex. I don't know if you've ever seen that challenge before, but let them know. Be like, okay, look, this is what I want us to do. I want us to, no matter what, the next 7 days, we're going to have sex every single solitary day. It rebuilds a lot. It is like, okay, we're in this together, and you might not want to every day. And that's the great part about it, because you can talk to each other and be like, I don't really want to. I don't really want to either. But we said we would, so we will. And then actually start to work on that on a regular basis. It's usually really good for rebuilding. It's usually really good for feeling like, okay, we're in this together. We do have this intimacy. Yeah, there's some going to be times that we don't feel like it, but we still come through for each other. So you can try that one. Hey, Joni, I see you over there on Instagram. Hey, girl. All right, so that help at all? So there's a couple of things, but first things first, you gotta start taking some of your attention off of him. You are worried entirely too much about him. You are looking at what he's doing and what he's saying, and that is a distraction to you. You need to take care of you. You need to focus on you. Take all of that attention off of him, because that's the key thing. You take that attention away, because right now he knows he's got you. Right now, every minute of every day, you are obsessed with him. You are thinking about him, looking at what he's doing over his shoulder in his phone. The second you take that away and he can feel that absence, things immediately start to change. But you're still giving him too much of yourself. You're paying him too much attention. It's codependent. If you can't feel good because he's not behaving well, that is something that you got to work on your own. You cannot make it be that, oh, well, I can only feel good if he's doing the right things and doing right by me. That's codependence. You don't want to live like that. You have to learn within yourself, without looking at him, to be happy on your own, to find your own joy, to move forward in the ways that you want to move forward instead of focusing all that attention on him. All right. Because all this sounds like you're paying him way too much attention. So he doesn't want to. I do. He's always too tired for me, but not tired for others. But see, that's the thing. You keep on thinking like he does this, but he does it like periodically too. He's not cheating every day. He's not going out and having sex with somebody every day. He's still only doing this once in a while. From what you told me before, he's still only actually doing this once in a while. You think that he's just some sex fiend with other people, but he's not. He likes the chase part of it better than he likes actual sex. He likes, ooh, can I entice her? Can I say the thing? Can I make her want me more than actually having the sex with them? So you think that it's something like he wants them more than you, but that's not what actually is happening here. What's happening here is he likes to play a whole bunch of games and get people interested in him. And then, all right, he slept with her, last year, and he lost interest because, yeah, I got you now. But he's just trying to see if he still can get her. That's all it is. That's all that is. It's just, ooh, do I have enough game to be enough to get her back again after I did her dirty the last time, just screwed her and left her alone? Man, can I get her back now? That's all he's doing. It's not about the sex for him. It is the compulsion of pay attention to me, validate me, is what it seems like with him. That's a lot of pain. That's pain. I know it's some mental issues going on. Yeah, I think that's what that is. Stop paying him so much attention. Let him know that you are making that break and start paying attention to you a lot more. Start going out doing the things that you want to do, hanging out with your friends, enjoying yourself. And he will feel that distance. He will understand that he should probably get his stuff together and come on back over here and make sure he's in your face, because you're losing. He'll take it as you're losing interest. It's not really about, trying to make him think that you're losing interest, but that's what he'll think. You are taking care of yourself when you're doing that. When you are doing your own thing, not focused on them, not letting his actions or inactions bring you down, that is a good thing for you. You are doing something positive for yourself. Don't worry so much about him. Does that make sense? Because you got to heal on your own. You can't drag him along while you're healing. You heal, you work on that, and see where he is once you've healed. Because most of the time, they're not far behind you. I swear, that's the way it works. They don't want to be left behind. So if they see you following the healing path, you're going on down the road, and they look around and they're like, oh, it's dark out here. Let me follow her. He'll start to follow you. But if you are constantly always looking at him and his terrible habits and his negativity, there is no path. You're not showing him the path. You are just reflecting back to him his horrible behavior, and that's not inspiring for anybody. Nobody is inspired to do better by saying, oh, well, you're just doing so terribly. Nobody is inspired by that. So if you just take your attention off of him, focus it on the ground in front of your feet, just the next step, the next 2 steps, and stop paying attention to him. Stop asking him for things. Stop expecting a whole bunch from him. Just starting to heal yourself. You are showing him what it is like to heal himself. And maybe he can start to apply some of that stuff. And then you can have a better relationship together. But we're out of the era of we're healing them. We're out of that. We're out of that. That's just not happening anymore. We are not in the era of, oh, this man is broken, so we're healing him. No, you are healing you. And then he's going to watch you do it, and he's going to come along and heal his damn self. Okay? We are not fixing them anymore. We're not fixing men. We're not doing that. That is not our job. We already have enough pain to try and deal with all by ourselves instead of trying to have to fix his. Okay? That's completely unnecessary. We don't need to do that to ourselves anymore. We are focused on our own healing. And as we move forward in that healing, we show the way to healing. Okay? That makes sense? Hope that makes sense. Because it's hard. It is. And you want to drag him along. You want him to understand. You want him to be like, oh, yes, you're absolutely right. I should have done this the right way in the first place. I know that's what you want, but it'll take a while to get there. We've got to start that healing path and actually show that we're healing so that they know that that's what we're doing. And then they can say, oh, well, if she can do it, then I can probably do it too, right? I can probably heal from this too if I follow along with what she's doing. So try it like that. Try and reverse it around. That's what the problem is. If whatever you're doing, if it's not working, try the exact opposite. All right. If you are like, I am trying to pay him attention and I'm trying to be happy and I'm trying to connect with him and he's just not doing it, stop that shit. Okay. Flip it around. We're going to do the exact opposite. All right. You can get to allowing the healing to happen and all that stuff, all the stuff in the dreams form. You can get there from there. You do not have to start with, oh, we are connecting. Oh, we're fixing each other. You start with you deciding to heal and starting to deal with the fears of healing, starting down that path. And then we can maybe join up and start along the rest of it. All right. That makes sense. I sure hope so. It's a very interesting thing to have to go through because you're dealing with somebody whose thinking has been altered by this while your thinking has been altered by this. That's difficult. But that doesn't mean that it can't be done. And it doesn't mean that you are not loved either. It doesn't mean that. What they say, if you can sin and still love God, all right, we are flawed people. We are flawed. We are not infallible. We will do the wrong thing sometimes. I know that everybody says, oh, well, that's a choice, though. But every wrong thing that you do is a choice. Okay. Every wrong thing you do, every mistake you make is a choice. Okay. So it doesn't really matter to say all of that. People get hung up on whether it was a mistake or a choice. It does not matter. In order to make a mistake, you have to make a choice. Okay. They go together. All right. So you can, beat yourself up about the fact that he made this choice and hurt you this way, and you're still here. You can beat yourself up about that if you want to, but you don't have to. And if you're going about it beating yourself up and that's not working, I suggest the opposite way. I suggest doing the exact opposite of what you have been doing and start building yourself up instead of beating yourself down about this whole situation. It's not your responsibility to fix him. It is not your responsibility to make him better, make him a better man, make him do better. It's not you. You tend to you first, and that is the healing path for all relationships. All right. If you don't heal first, even if you left them right this second, even if you left right this minute and you did not heal from this, it's still going to follow you. It's still going to haunt you. It's going to come into the next relationship. You're not going to trust the next person. So you might as well go ahead, stick around with who you're with right now, work on the healing. And then, okay, if you get to the point where you're all good and healed up and he is not caught up, he's still lost in the woods way back there. All right, well, you'll know then. You will know that, okay, well, he can't keep up. All right, I get it. It's sad, but I guess I'll have to move on. But right now, if you're staying, and it's an easier place there too. If you are healing and you're feeling better about yourself, it's an easier place to decide whether you want to stay or not. If you are healing and you're feeling better and you're like, this is actually working, this is worth it. I can work this out for a little while longer. I can stay for a little while longer. I can understand him for a little while longer. Great. And then you could feel like, I'm in a better place. I have healed. And you know what? I just don't want to wait for him to heal anymore. I am not in that place anymore. I'm a different mindset. I am calmer. I am more collected. And I just don't want to do that. You'll be able to figure that out a whole lot easier once you're healed up. But if you do want to stay, it's much easier to stay if you start to heal first before you try and drag him along, before you try and do anything for him, do anything for the relationship. If you try to heal first, it is going to be a much easier path for everybody involved. All right. All righty, y'all. I think that's about it. Let me go ahead and give you an affirmation for today. Now, affirmation, anything you repeatedly say to yourself is an affirmation. Okay? It does not matter if it is a negative thing. If you are constantly telling myself, oh, I'm so ugly and nobody really loves me and I'll never be happy, that's an affirmation. Okay? You are telling your brain a message and your brain will listen to that message. So instead of doing that, we must be very intentional about the positive things that we say about ourselves as we are going about our day. When we are doing that, when we are very intentional about it, we are showing our brain the thing that we want to really believe about ourselves, not what the fear and the pain have told us to believe, but what we really actually want to believe and what we want our lives to be like. Okay. When you're doing your affirmation, you're going to look yourself in the eye like you are going to be intense. You're going to be here with it, all right? And you are going to say this affirmation like you mean it with all your heart. You're going to say it like it is the most true statement you have ever made in your entire life. You're going to say it with authority, all right? If you do that, if you are consistent with that, your brain will have a record of you saying very clearly with lots of authority that you are a wonderful person. Look how great she feels about herself. Look what she said. You will be able to go back to that tape at any given time when you are struggling, when you are having a hard time, when your self esteem is taking a hit, when you are feeling insecure. You'll be able to go to the tape of this is who I want to be, not who my brain is telling me I am right now. Right? So today's affirmation is today I will forgive. That's a great one, right? Today I will forgive any past mistakes I have made and love myself unconditionally. And you can add him in, but right now we're talking about your healing, all right? So today I will forgive. Today I will forgive any past mistakes I have made and love myself unconditionally. And you should. You have not done anything wrong to stay. If you are staying after infidelity, you are not making a bad decision for yourself. You are not supposed to feel like you are wrong or stupid or naive or any of those things. You are making a personal decision for what you want your life to be like in the future. Nobody else gets to do that. And nobody else gets to criticize what you want for your life. So forgive yourself for going on ahead and wanting to stay and then move on. All right. Forgive yourself and then proceed along the path that you've already chosen. All right. Oh, yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for joining me for the Healing Hour Live. Now, remember, do your deep breathing, do your journaling, get your gratitude practice going. Stop asking all those questions. Um, do your affirmation, and more than anything, don't let the fear and the pain tell you what to do. It's always going to lead you deeper into the woods instead of out of the woods. The fear and the pain want to keep you lost. They do not want you to get back to your castle. They do not want you to feel better. If you listen to them, you will be on the hurting path, absolutely. But ignoring what the pain and the fear tell you to do and doing the exact opposite of what they are saying is going to lead you to the healing path. It's going to lead you out of the woods every time. I promise you. All right. So I will be back again with you next week, Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Healing Hour Live. Until then, I love you. And I'm so, so proud of you for practicing unconditional love. You are doing something amazing and you should be patted on the back for it. Okay. So, mwah, I will see you again next week for the Healing Hour Live. Until then, bye. Bye, Instagram. And bye over here on Facebook and YouTube.